Sorry, a few little technological things here. A lot to dissect, obviously, in the match. Let's start with the beginning of the game. We didn't start the game the right way. It's that simple. We pride ourselves in this club and as a team of starting matches strong and aggressive, and we didn't do that. For the most part this year, we have done that, but I think sometimes human nature, kind of kicks in, and we need to learn from that. So I think, every game is an opportunity to grow from and learn from, and that's definitely an area that we're going to learn from. And no matter what you think or say before a match, until you get punched in the nose because you let your guard down, you're probably never really going to kind of learn that lesson. So it's the first time this year that we were just flat for whatever reason. And I thought the second thing is, outside of that first 20 minutes, I thought we battered them. And I had a real good feeling at halftime based on what I saw in the last 20 to 25 minutes of the first half, that we could come back in the game. And I told the guys that if I was a betting man, we were going to get the next goal, get the second goal, and that we might get the third. And that was exactly what I told the group. And I don't say that very often for obvious reasons, but I just had a feeling with the way that last 25 minutes went. A little bit, I thought they got passive, Chicago. I think they looked like they were trying to play not to lose, and because they've not been getting results, and because, we're a team that refuses to lose, we're a team that, is going to go down swinging and throw the kitchen sink. I just had a lot of belief in my team that we could come from behind. And I told them that. And as mad as I was about the first 20 minutes, I chose to treat them like men and to talk about, what we could do in that second half and we're capable of. And I thought the group was outstanding. They responded. It's not easy to come from behind, down 2 goals on the road. So I think that's the second learning lesson, is we can come from behind if we need to. We don't want to. We prefer to start the game strong and get the first goal. But also, if we have to come from behind, by throwing the kitchen sink and being direct and, clawing and scrapping and grinding and doing all the dirty little things that we need to come back, we can do that. And this team, I think, showed that type of mentality. Our veterans stepped up in the second half. That's what you need. The back line kept a clean sheet, and I'm confident in our attacking group, guys like Giassi Zardes and Pedro Santos. And I think the third thing is, for us to come from behind down 2-0 and get the point on the road without 2 of our best attacking players, I think is a real credit again to our team. We never talked about that. We never made excuses about that. We showed a lot of belief in the team that started the game. And I think the guys showed belief in what we're doing. And if you look at our 6 games, that kind of small group of games after the restart from Orlando, we've taken 11 points in those 6 games. So we're not satisfied with the draw today, but we'll take the point, especially under the circumstances. And, kind of slowly but surely, we've added up another 11 points in these 6 games. So I'm pleased overall with that chunk of games with this group.
Thank you, Caleb. For our first question, we'll go to Brett. Brett, go ahead.
Caleb, you mentioned that the team was flat in the first 15 minutes. Do you have any indication as to why that was, or a confluence of a couple issues that really let Chicago get out on the front foot?
I think it's just human nature, like I said. A lot of times until you touch the stove and get burnt, you get casual, you get complacent. We've been winning games. We've not given up goals. We see a team that's, as much as we talked about it, a lot better than their standing. The group knew they were a good attacking team. But for whatever reason, I just think they weren't quite ready for the race. And that's something we talk about a lot. It's something we never like if we don't start strong. But also I've been around long enough to know that sometimes it just happens, and I think it now allows us to really have the attention of everybody. And we have a reference point now to say, listen, we're playing this team. Yeah, they're not maybe as good as you think on the table, but they're capable still. In MLS, every team is. We say all these things every game, and I think now they know, right? And now they see what can happen. So we'll be better from that 20 minutes. And these are lessons you need to learn along the way. You absolutely need to learn them. And the other lesson we learned is we can come from behind and find a way, even on the road, down 2 goals to grind out a point.
Thank you, Caleb. Up next, we'll go to Jacob. Jacob, if you can say who the question is addressed to, go ahead.
Caleb, how serious is Darlington's injury? When did it happen, and how long do you anticipate he and Lucas being out?
Yeah, so they both have minor knee knocks. When I use the terminology knock, it's, a general statement of the area that's injured. They are minor. They are from knocks, tackles. We don't expect they'll be out long. Lucas has been out now for a week and a half. He has a kind of light MCL grade 1 that happened in the Philly match, which is 1 to 2 weeks. We thought he'd be ready this game, but he's just not quite ready. He's still having a little bit of pain striking balls. So we're hoping next week. I would expect him next week. Darlington, similar. He took a knee-to-knee contact in the Philly game, and it's been swollen, it's been sore, and, he kind of started feeling it at the end of the week a little bit more. The swelling wasn't going away. Again, we don't think it's serious, but neither one was available. So there wasn't a lot of rhythm in our prep this week because we basically prepped one day and then Darlington was out. And then we prepped another day and then Lucas was out. So we actually didn't prep with the lineup we started because it was pretty much a change we had to make the day before. And so that's the other thing, perhaps to start the game, that rhythm, a little bit, that continuity might have been lost because we didn't have a full week with the group that we started. But I think, again, the guys really responded in that second half.
Thank you, Caleb. Next question will go to Pat. If you'd like another question, please click raise hand and let us know who the question is addressed to.
For Giassi, I'm curious on if he could take us through both goals. The first one, obviously, you get the head on, but deflects off the tie. And then the second one just kind of pops off your leg and you're in the right place to finish, but still have to finish it. You could just kind of walk us through what happened from your perspective on both of those.
Yeah, so on the first goal, I decided to switch up my run and catch my opponent by surprise. So I ran near post and, I just tried to put it on frame, and sure enough, Fatai was right there just to knock it in the goal. And for the second goal, Yunus was driving at the back line and he tried to play a through ball. And sure enough, it hit the back of my thigh. And, I already knew where the goal was. So I just had to take a touch and a quick shot. And I caught the keeper off guard. So, that was the second goal.
Thank you, Jesse. Next question will go to Ori.
Caleb, how is Pedro feeling after he had to come out of the game pretty late on?
I haven't had a chance to talk to him or my medical staff. If I know Pedro, I'm sure he's okay. He's a grinder. He's a worker. It's been a long 6 games. Obviously, this was a really compacted window with games every 3-4 days. It was kind of weird last week. Actually, we had more time, but the guys seemed to almost be more tired last week, which oftentimes happens when you finally, get a little bit of room to reset. And I think again that probably showed up a little bit. There's a lot of factors, obviously, why you start games slow. I mean, I have to look at too. My what I said or what I didn't say or what I didn't do as well. It's not just the players. But yeah, I think it was a really difficult window, and we have a few knocks. We've had a few battle scars. But nothing major, which is really good, and none of them are soft tissue, which we're really pleased about. They're knocks, they're tackles, they're contusions, they're ankles. We have a few of those, so we have 7 days until we play our next game, so we're going to need those days to kind of just get some of those little things sorted out with guys.
Thanks, Caleb. Next, we'll go to Jacob and then Brad.
This question's for Artur. You guys all year, there hadn't been a team to really break you down defensively like Chicago did early in the game. Obviously, you guys bounced back. Did that second goal provide almost maybe a kind of a shock to the system, like you guys needed to start playing at their pace?
Yeah, usually we don't start the game like that, and for us I think we didn't start the game with the right mentality, and everybody got surprised with the first goal, and then in the second right away. And for my feeling with the group and inside the field, I felt like everybody felt it, like it was hurting us, and we don't like when we have this feeling. So we just got to come back, and everybody was together, and everybody was sure that we could come back. So it was just one thing we need to learn, and don't let it happen again. It already happened one time away, and we gotta learn from it. And I think our group, everybody is together, and everybody it's working to don't let that happen again.
Thank you, Artur. Brett, go ahead. After that, we'll have time for some final questions. Go ahead, Brett.
This is for Giassi. Caleb said that, he treated you guys like men at halftime and was encouraged by the way you played in the final 25 minutes of the first half. How motivating is that kind of specifically for you guys, knowing that, everybody kind of had faith in you, that you were able to be able to grind out a result, when you maybe aren't at your best?
Yeah, so it's extremely motivating for our coach to treat us like men, because it allows us to see that he has faith in us. He knows we're going to get the job done the second half, especially based on the last 25 minutes of the first half, So all the players knew we'd be calm, collective, and we knew as soon as the second half started, we're going to be all over Chicago Fire. And, that obviously starts in the locker room with the coach, and it carries on to the field with the players.
Thank you, Jassy. Next, we'll go to Pat Murphy and then Ori.
Caleb, you guys, as Jacob said, haven't been broken down much as a defensive group, and we've talked a lot about your success. I know you haven't been able to look at the film yet, but from what you saw on the sidelines, what was Chicago able to do to open you guys up on those two goals that both came from the same side?
Yeah, I've looked at them. I looked at them during the game because our standards are really high here, and we don't want to give up goals. And when we give up goals, it's a shock. We don't like it, and we have a good enough group where it shouldn't happen often. Of course, in football, you're going to give up some, but I didn't feel like either goal was great organization on our part. And I thought we were stretched out. And I thought on the first goal, we got kind of caught with a high line, and, we had some guys stepping and holding the line, some tracking, and we just got to get attached to the line, and that's the situation, and drop. And that's what we always do typically. So I think we just got a little bit casual, when they broke the pressure, and now instead of getting connected and dropping, we kind of got complacent and gambled and tried to hold an offside line trap, which is not the way we play. And then the second goal was, a situation that happens a lot. Ball gets to the outside back, and, there's a little wing progression, and, we just got caught in between, not enough pressure on the ball, and didn't track the run in the channel. And then on the cross, we didn't drop in to cut the cross. So I think it's a good reminder, again, that we have to be, on edge. We have to be focused, and it doesn't matter who you're playing. And I will say, I don't care where Chicago's at right now on the table. They've got some really good attacking players. And I said that the last game. I think it now too. So, they give up goals. We knew that. But they have the ability to score goals as well. So, it was an exciting game. Definitely not a game that we prefer to be in. We prefer more control. But also, I think, until we get our complete midfield sorted and back in a rhythm, we're probably not going to have as much control. And we knew that going in. But we certainly didn't expect to give up those 2 goals. And we'll look at it, we'll analyze it like always, and hopefully correct it.
Thank you, Caleb. Up next, Ori, and then our final question will be Jacob.
Questions for Artur. You've played now with Fatai in that center mid role for the last 2 games. I'm kind of curious how he's sort of gelled with the team and what his style of play is like and what he offers that might be a little bit different to Darlington next to you in that role.
Yeah, for sure, it's a little different. He just came to the team with us, and we're still learning about each other. But he's a good player. He's good winning balls, and also he can help in moving and the set pieces. He's good. So it's different. Every player is different. Darlington's a different player. But whoever's in the field, we gotta adapt fast because it's a short season, and we're trying to play a high level. So we just gotta adapt and adapt the play for the team and do the best for the team.
Thank you, Artur. Jacob, go ahead. The final question.
For Caleb, you guys are about halfway through the season now, 11 of the 23 games. Jossie has 8 goals in those 11 games, and you probably have several things you want to correct or just shore up after this game, but how key is it to not just having him scoring in quantity, but in key spots like when he came on against Cincinnati and today as well?
Sorry, you cut out there. Didn't hear.
Yeah, no problem. How key is it just to have Jossie scoring in not just quantity, but key spots?
It's massive. I mean, the way you set your team up, your 9, your 10, your wingers have to produce goals, the lion's share of the goals. And you expect your 9 to score more than anyone. And your 10, Lucas has been scoring. Obviously, with him out, Jossie's going to have to be the guy that scores, occasionally a winger. So it was really important that he was able to chip in today. And he's on a very good path right now. So I'll continue to stay out of his way, let him keep bagging goals.
Thank you, Caleb. That's going to conclude tonight's post-match availability. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.